Star Wars only, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker comes out later this year, and right now in post-production they're going through the reshoots, and a lot of people are kind of spinning this in a negative light and saying this is a bad sign. It's not a bad sign, it's a common thing that happens with major films like this. It's not great, it's not amazing, especially that it's gonna rumored to go on to September. I do think that's a little late, but it's not gonna negatively impact the film. And this film has already had a short time frame. So what's happening here? Well, reports are coming from Wired and many other sources that Black Park in the UK has been closed off for reshoots or pickups for Star Wars Episode 9, and a part of the footage that's being shot is an X-Wing fighter, and apparently the shoot might go on until September, early September, which, yes, is a little late for the film coming out in December. But the reshoots aren't to the extent that they were for Rogue One, where they brought in Tony Gilroy, a totally different director, who said the film was an absolute mess and they were really in trouble. Even the actor for Director Krennic was saying that the ending to Rogue One was completely different. And so Rogue One was saved in post-production with the reshoots. And that's unfortunate that they had problems with it and had to go reshoot it. That is one of them where, yes, there's cause for concern. You had concern with Solo, a Star Wars story. The production behind that was awful. They changed directors halfway through. They brought in Ron Howard to direct and then reshoot the entire film. It was a perfect storm. I mean, that just obviously was not going to go as well as we all would want it to. Star Wars Episode 9 is having reshoots, but it's not due to the behind-the-scenes drama. It's just due to the shorter schedule that they had and the fact that major films like this have reshoots. It's a common thing. It's nothing to be concerned about. One of the great things about this film so far is that it hasn't had a lot of behind-the-scenes production problems with JJ. Since he's taken over, everything's gone really smooth. I know there was one leak that got out they really didn't want to get out, and the Lucasfilm lawyers had to get involved, but other than that, it's been a pretty good production schedule for Star Wars Episode 9. And I would credit that to J.J. Abrams. I think he has more control over this film than he has with The Force Awakens. When he had The Force Awakens, I think Kathleen Kennedy was more involved than she is now. And I'm pretty confident that Kathleen Kennedy has less control over this film than J.J. Abrams does this time around. And I think it's obvious by the lack of production problems. All the films that she has had major control over, like The Force Awakens, like The Last Jedi, like Rogue One, and mainly Solo. Solo is a big indication have had problems. They've all had problems, except for this one. And this one had problems with Colin Trevorrow, yes, but when J.J. Abrams came in, I believe since he had a shorter schedule, a shorter time to make this film, they gave him more leeway in terms of creative control and what he could do with this film. And I think you're finally seeing that. I think you're seeing JJ's full creative control come to life, and hopefully it works, because I am a little concerned about this film like many other people after what happened in The Last Jedi. But I think with him having more control than Kathleen Kennedy and her stepping back a little bit in this film, I think it's a better sign for Star Wars fans, and I think that's one of the reasons this film hasn't had so much production problems. But who knows? Tell me what you think. Are these reshoots a good sign or a bad sign? Do you think the smooth production for The Rise of Skywalker is a sign of J.J. Abrams having complete control and Kathleen Kennedy stepping back? Or do you think it's not a sign of anything at all and the film will not be good? Tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all next time, and may the Force be with you always.